What's up guys, CalebBake01 back again for another random horror review, while also continuing the Rue Morgue 200 Alternative Horror Movie Challenge. For today's review we have the 2010 South Korean revenge film, I Saw the Devil. Now, normally I'm holding up a physical copy of the movie next to me. I actually don't own this movie in any physical form. I actually had to watch it on YouTube. Someone uploaded the full movie on YouTube, so that's how I watched it. But it feels a bit weird. Normally, this is the first random horror review where I'm not holding a physical copy of the movie. It feels a bit weird, honestly. I don't know what to do with my hands. But I guess I'll edit the movie's poster over one of my shoulders. You guys will see it. Anyway, as we normally do with this, I will quickly go through the plot and then chuck in my thoughts on the movie afterwards. So, the plot here, our lead, basically a secret agent, and in the first 10 minutes, I can't remember if it's his fiance or wife, anyway, his loved one, breaks down on the side of a road. She has some car troubles on this isolated, dead road in the middle of the night. And a serial killer comes by, and this serial killer we follow in this movie probably just as much as we do with our lead secret agent. I don't remember the serial killer's name or the secret agent's name, I'm sorry, but we follow both of them probably just as much as each other. Anyway, he comes across her car, beats her, kidnaps her, and kills her. And her remains are found sometime later, and obviously our secret agent lead, he is distraught. You know, the worst possible thing to happen to a loved one, especially in such a brutal way. So now, for the remainder of the movie, he is seeking out revenge on this serial killer. He's tracking him down. He's literally tracking him. He's put a tracker in this serial killer's body, and he is following him. And every time he finds him, he is beating him in the most brutal ways you can think of, really, just fucking taking out all his anger on him, but then letting him go and doing it all over again. So that's sort of our plot, you know, this, in a way, sort of cat and mouse with this serial killer, this secret agent, finding him, getting his revenge, but letting him go just to do it all over again. And this is a long movie. The movie goes for 2 hours, 20 minutes, 2.5, something like that. Super long. But yeah, I guess we'll get into my thoughts of the movie now. So I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I'm not going to beat around the bush with this one. This was kind of a frustrating watch for me, and I'm going to explain why. So this was a first time watch. I'd never seen this movie before, but, you know, I've heard of it. I think this movie is, now that it's got 12 years under its belt, you know, I think most horror fans would have at least heard of this one. So I've heard of it, and everything on paper is something that I would enjoy, you know. I do like South Korean films. I think the best thing about South Korean films, I love the way that they're shot and the way that they look. You know, I wouldn't say revenge films are, you know, real high on my favourite subgenres, but I like them. So everything on paper with this movie I would technically like, but for some reason this was the frustrating thing. I just couldn't get into this movie, and I think everyone's sort of had this with a film before, where you know it's a good movie, you know you should be liking it, and don't get me wrong, I did like this movie, but just something wasn't clicking, and that was me with this movie. I was getting super frustrated. So for this first time watch, you know, I sat through the whole movie and I enjoyed it, but I felt like I should have been liking it a lot more than what I was. Even to the point I watched it again like a few days later, and the exact same thing, that I enjoyed the movie. There's a lot to like. You know, I can highlight more positives than negatives with this movie, but as I said, I'm sure everyone's had this experience with a film before, where you know you should be liking it more, but just something isn't clicking, and that was me with this movie. It was super frustrating because, as I said, I really wanted to get into it. On paper, you list it from top to bottom with the elements of this film. All of them are things that I enjoy, and it just, for some reason, it wasn't clicking. But with that being said, like, I would definitely recommend this movie. It is a good movie. You know, I'm not gonna, you know, beat down this movie just because, for some factor, it just wasn't clicking with me. I don't think that's fair. I would definitely recommend this movie. You know, the way that it's shot, all the technical aspects of this movie, you know, fucking outstanding. The way that it looks, the way that it's shot, the way that it's shot, sorry, the acting, just everything in this movie, um, you know, along those points, fucking amazing. The plot and the story, once again, something that really drives this movie home. This movie is really brutal too. I just want to get that out of the way too. That was some of my favorite elements through this movie, just the torture and the brutality of it. Not really a spoiler, but the scene with the Achilles, I covered my eyes. That was fucking brutal. I hate shit with the Achilles, even in like Pet Sematary. I think that's one of the most famous ones. Always makes me wince. Yeah, I want to highlight the serial killer. Whoever played him, that's fucking amazing casting, because that guy is fucking creepy. And even when he's not, you know, torturing someone or killing, he is so menacing. He will just be talking to someone and he is controlling the scene as an actor, and his character is controlling the environment. I think that was just amazing casting. As I said, everyone acts this well, and like as I said, I have so much things that I could highlight and put as positives, but that's what makes it so frustrating. This movie just wasn't clicking with me, and it's annoying because I wanted to put together a better review for this because, you know, everything on paper is stuff that I would enjoy. Something wasn't clicking for me with this movie, but I would still definitely recommend it. It wasn't anything to do with it being a foreign film. I can watch foreign movies. Wasn't anything to do with the runtime. It was a frustrating watch that I couldn't get into it. You know, maybe I'm just overthinking it too much, because I know for a fact everyone has that with some kind of movie, where you know it's a good movie. It's universally loved. You know you should be liking it, but it was a frustrating watch, honestly, for me. And I'm gonna sort of leave my review there, honestly. I'm hoping the next movie I can sort of get into a little bit more, but we'll get to my rating now. And it was a tough one to rate because, you know, I don't want to give this, even though I rate the films on my personal rating, how I felt with this movie, I don't want to go too low with it because I know it's a good movie. So I'm going to give I Saw the Devil from 2010 a 7.5. You know, I know it's relatively low for a movie of this caliber and what it should be. I just, for some internal or external factor, I couldn't get into this one, but I would still highly recommend it, guys. Now, this is a delayed review for you guys this week, because as I said, this was super frustrating. I wasn't sure how I was going to go about this review. I was thinking, do I watch this movie for a third time? But I didn't want to fall behind on the challenge. I'm just really frustrated that I couldn't get into this movie because, you know, I did enjoy it. I just feel like something didn't click and I didn't like it as much as I should, but still highly recommend it, guys. Now, I've sort of been slacking on letting you guys know what movie is next in this Rue Morgue challenge. Next up, we have Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. I think that's what it's called. I actually don't own that movie as well, but hopefully it arrives. I've ordered it online. Hopefully it arrives by then. But guys, I would definitely recommend I Saw the Devil. Hopefully it clicks for you guys too. I think maybe I need to let it sit for a bit. Maybe after a couple of years, revisit it, and hopefully by then it clicks in my brain. Because as I said, I would recommend this movie. I know it's good, just something in me just didn't click with it. But I don't want to scare people away from this movie because I know it's good, and I feel like majority of people would have a good time with this film. So definitely recommend it, guys. And thank yous for watching my random horror review today. And hopefully I'll have some more content for you guys soon. Thanks.